I have been putting off making my meatballs, so I am going to make them today. I've already cut and washed my vegetables, the ends and the buds. I've already cut those, but I am still going to have to chop them up a little shorter so that I can put them in a food processor, blend it up, pour it in here, strain the liquids from the vegetable out, and then mix my beef in so that I can make my meatballs. Stay tuned. Let's try this. Are burning because of the onion, and I think I made too much. And you know what? The good thing about this is that when I make the vegetable mix, I only do it for meatballs. So if I want, I could just freeze the ones that I don't, the amount that I don't want to use, and just use it for next time. And all of this goes in the dishwasher, so easy for me. But I had pepper. I ran out of pepper, so what I'm gonna do is just use salt all over it. Let the juices. I'm doing a lot of salt because it's a lot of meat. And plus, I'm using salt only to let the water come out, and then I'm gonna drain the water so I can add the meat inside. So I'm gonna mix it to make sure that it is combined thoroughly. It's funny because I use, well, I guess I use more carrots, but I typically use the zucchini. I use more zucchini than I use carrots. And the funny thing is that carrots, the color of the carrots just takes up the entire bowl. So now it's all orange. Whoa, you can see a little bit of green in there. You can see that. I'm gonna let it sit for about 10 minutes and then drain the water before I add my meat. So I left this in for about 30 minutes. So if I'm doing this, you would see all the liquid just coming out of it. So what I'm gonna do is drain it into a different, it would be nice if I had a cheesecloth, but I don't, and I don't feel like taking out my strainer just to do all of this. So I'm just gonna do this really quickly and mix in the meat. What I ended up doing is dividing my items in two and pouring the meat inside of it. And this is all ground beef from Sam's Club that I got during the week. So I'm going to smush it. I divided it in two to make it easier. I had an ice cream scoop that I used to measure out the sizes so that they are all even, but I think the ice cream scoop broke, so I don't really have anything. I think I'm just gonna eyeball it or use a regular spoon and do it that way. I'm going to put the meats on this tray with wax paper on it so that I can freeze it a little bit. I guess you could call it flash freeze, so that when I put them all in the Ziploc bags, it does not smush. I was gonna save half of this to make it into just ground beef. I mean, I still can, it's not too late, but I feel like just making meatballs. You gotta make sure you incorporate all the vegetables in it, because if you don't, there will be some plain vegetables on the sides and in the corner. And if you don't feel comfortable touching meat, that's fine. You can get some food safe gloves to use, and when you're done, just make sure that you wipe your surfaces properly. I typically do water, soap, and lots of vinegar. But if you have a Clorox cleaner, you can do that as well. And this one, there's that. This one I'm going to do the same thing, and then I'm gonna come back when I'm finished mixing them so that we can make our meatballs. But I'm gonna try to use my hands and eyeball it to see if I would be okay with the making them as even as I possibly can. So grabbed a little scoop. This is it. This is what it's gonna look like. They're pretty big. Actually, maybe I should make them a little smaller. Just putting it in the bowl. If you want, you can have a little bit of water right next to you, just so, in case you're getting meat stuck all over your hand, but with me, I think I'll be all right. Let's see here. And here is our first meatball. Just gonna put it here. This is my first frozen batch. Flash freeze, if you will. So look at it. Doesn't it look good? I'm gonna put these in Ziploc bags. The second batch is freezing so that I can put them in the bags as well. You can see it comes apart easily, so I could just put them in the bag. I decided in the middle of making meatballs that I would want to make some meat pies eventually. I don't know when. So instead of making all of it as meatballs, I flattened it out and just left the mix as ground beef so I can use it for meat pies in the future. So here are the semi-finished products. I say semi-finished because I still have like one more in the freezer that's gonna go in the third bag, but I have 2 gallon size Ziploc. These are gallon size, right? 2 gallon size, and then 2 flattened out for meat pie, and then I'm gonna add 1 more that goes in here. So I think I did a pretty good job. Thank you for watching. That's it for the end of this video. Bye.